Oh, yeah. I wanted to surprise you there, Brian.
What was that?
I got it. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the latest edition of the FEL America podcast. This is David Smith.
Travis Oig.
I knew we were starting the Liverpool and Arsenal podcast, the different intro.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Shesko.
Oh, yeah. You got to get it started off, get it fired up. Gentlemen, what a week of football.
Benjamin Shesko.
Has he scored yet?
Yeah, he's got more points than Jokeres.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true either.
I'd be shocked if that's true. We'll look, but you're saying that with somewhat confidence, which scares me. Hey, a lot of football has happened this past week. Obviously, FPL matches, along with Carabao Cup matches this past week. There was a lot of Premier League versus Premier League in the EFL Carabao Cup matches. So much to cover. Let's just dive right into it. It's already late. We're getting a late start tonight. I could go on and on about the North Carolina State Fair as I was there this past weekend. It was crazy. And the Golden K-Dogs were in full effect. We crushed the record this past Saturday. We beat the record that we had the prior Saturday. And I say we because I was helping. But League Aaron actually came into town today with his wife, Esther, the Golden K-Dog champs, and they are taking a break.
Where is he? Why isn't he here?
I know. I said, hey, he goes, bro, I'm about to fall asleep. I would just
so
come and
are
fall
we.
asleep.
But we're here.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
So here we are. We're going to do this. And no one, unfortunately, that I know of came up to the North Carolina State Fair and said, hey.
Are we surprised?
I heard you on the pod. There's tons of people there. But it did not happen. So, unfortunately, I was hoping. I was holding out hope that someone
the pot
might
grows
show up.
for the next time.
Anyways, let's dive right into it. And the first thing on the list that we have to discuss is
this will lead into eventually the Carabao Cup, but
right.
To start off, the most important talking point
just,
of the Carabao Cup and midweek matches was
the fact that Liverpool didn't hardly have any senior players in their entire lineup. And it just, bench. Travis, before you respond, let me talk some nonsense, and then you can tell me how stupid I am. As a non-Liverpool fan, someone who's been sort of rooting against them as they've been so good for so long, and Arsenal's been trying to catch them. They were in a title battle for some of last year, and then Liverpool just kind of pulled away with it, completely deserving the title. Arsenal's had to settle for second place 3 times in the last 3 years. And so going into this year, it was just, number one, I never thought I'd really see Liverpool lose like 3 games in a row, much less now currently 6 out of 7. And again, I am not trying to throw shade. Unfortunately, weirdly enough, that's just facts at the moment. It has been 4 Premier League games in a row, again, which is a massive shock.
Good thing there were no middle schoolers here just a second ago.
Did I say something wrong? Oh,
6 out of 7.
Oh, 6, 7. Yeah, what was I thinking? And then, like Travis, as I was watching my brother complain about the lineups. I was in the middle of something. I was also on tape delay on the Arsenal game. So I was not trying to pay attention to Slack because I didn't want to see any updates in Slack as the notifications came up. So I wasn't watching. I caught up later, and I saw that my brother has said, well, this is ridiculous. He goes, I just heard a rumored lineup, and I haven't seen it yet, but if that's the case, this is absolutely ridiculous. And there's 2 ways you can look at it. Klopp put a team out there, for the most part, of under 19, said the senior players were McAllister, Robertson, Kirkes, Gomez. Rio's been training with the first team. Chiesa, right? But for the most part, there was a whole lot of names that I think even some Liverpool fans are like, who is that? And so there's
one guy was on prison release.
That can't.
It was real.
I like that.
He was on the bench. He did not play.
Well, good for him. Actually, that's amazing. That's ridiculous.
That's the true winner of the Carabao Cup.
Facts. He got to spend the day on the sidelines. That's amazing. There's 2 ways to look at it, Travis. Like, number one, hey, we've been struggling. The guys need a day off, and we need to recoup because we have 3 massive games coming up in Villa, Madrid, and City in that order. And so 2 of them at home, the first 2 at home, Villa and Madrid at home, and then City away. So you could look at it and go, hey, we need, if we're going to rest at this point, we're on a skid. today's going to be the day. That's absolutely one way to look at it, and I don't fault them in that. The other thought is we need some momentum. We need something. This is an opportunity where we do have 3 tough games going. We need a win. Let's at least try to get a win in something. Let the chips fall they may. Let's make the quarterfinals, and then we know we got 3 tough games going. Let's try to take a little momentum, a little confidence into those other games because, the attitude around the club probably is not high. And anyways, but Slot opted for the first. And so, I saw a lot of other takes I didn't initially thought. Some people were saying, hey, this is horribly unfair to the younger guys to just throw them out there with no support off the bench, and just let them fail. Like, good luck. Here you go, good luck. I didn't necessarily kind of think about that take. That's a take that from someone that I'm repeating, and I didn't think that. And I guess you could look at it like that. I probably wouldn't see it that way. Some guys thought it was just unfair to them to just do that. Some people thought it was unfair to the fans who paid for the tickets to go watch their team play, and then they see the under-19s for the most part out there, or under-21s, and so I don't know. It just seemed like there was, unfortunately Liverpool already has enough going on, and this, for at least on the fan side of things, just adds to the fire that's burning in Liverpool. That is probably, crisis is probably a strong word. I did say it earlier, like more in jest, but honestly, 6 out of 7 losing maybe is a semi-crisis, and especially after their year last year. And so we were talking pre-pod about this, what has changed. I learned from a couple other people that, because I'm not sharp enough to figure this out, at least not in real time, but that tactically Liverpool has changed things that they're doing from last year. Even though it was very good for them last year. Anyways, there's just a whole lot of questions. And Travis, what's your opinion?
I think from a squad selection standpoint, it's pretty clear that Slot's not prioritizing the competition, right? So first and foremost, it was an opportunity to get a team that's struggling a significant rest that otherwise they don't have an opportunity to get. The number of fixtures that these guys play is pretty astronomical. I think it's well documented. There's plenty of people complaining about that. So right or wrong, I think the first indication is not necessarily that Slot made a mistake and put people out there that he thought could win. I would hope that he thought they could win, but he's like, yeah, this is the team that's going to beat Crystal Palace. I think more so than anything, this is a team that might beat Crystal Palace, but more importantly, I get to put all of my main guys behind the bench to watch this match, and they get the night off. Injuries.
Do you agree with that?
Losing Frimpong, almost losing Gravenberch, having to pull guys off the pitch for protection because we're 2 injuries away from relegation form, like legitimately so, right? Like there's a couple guys we lose a center back, we're in big trouble.
Yeah,
we're in big trouble, fair. Right? Even some of our midfielders. We're just bottom line is
the Szoboszlai.
Honestly, yeah,
he's the most important guy right now.
Yeah, all that to say, I think he made a statement. He probably went into the locker room and said, "I trust you. You're young. I know a bunch of you guys are making your debuts, but go out there and play free. Nobody's expecting anything but for you guys to care and play hard." And the one thing I will say, and I said this after your brother was talking about this is just give us the L now. When it was that rumored lineup, and it was when the lineup did come out, like honestly, I looked at that and I was like, every single one of these guys is motivated. If there was a question of were the guys that were struggling and that have lost 6 out of 7, were they even trying hard enough, or were they just giving up? You can't even begin to question the guys that were going to come out there. Every one of them have a point to prove. It was at Anfield. There was a ton of guys that got debuts, which is awesome. Chiesa worked his socks off. I think from a big picture standpoint, I don't know that I love the call to do that, but I do love the idea that we saved our guys and we get to come back in and attack the league and attack Champions League. And to be realistic, Champions League is probably our best option at this point for any kind of silverware. We're in a decent position in the league phase.
Right. That's totally true.
So I think we need to get something out of Real Madrid. And so resting those guys and giving ourselves the best opportunity to go in and win some games in the Champions League, I think is not a bad
already
choice.
Overlooking Aston Villa.
Well,
the point.
No, hold on,
but
my
what I'm
question
saying
was
though
gonna be
is that's
At
Champions
this
League,
point,
right? I'm talking Champions League. We're not going to play Aston Villa in the Champions League. We're playing Aston Villa in the league. The league is done. We're not going to win the league. That's very clear.
I think it's probably true. At least,
and that's okay. And that's okay.
The league's wrapped up.
Yeah.
City
is going to run away with it. No, and that's the thing is that so for us, we have to be in a Champions League place. We need to be in a Champions League place. So we need to arrest the free fall. I'm not saying give up on the league, but I am saying we've got to win something. We got to try and win something. I don't want to just say it's all over. We'll figure it out next year. Champions League, we legitimately have a chance.
Sure.
And so if we can figure it out, and these world-class players that are, we paid billions of dollars for basically all of them, if they can figure it out and they can get playing and we can go on a run, we have a legitimate chance of competing in the Champions League. So I think we need to. So I like that call. It's a little bit of a tough pill to swallow, but I don't hate it. Glasner was the loudest of the people to say, don't disrespect these kids. They went out there and they played their hearts out and they played well. And don't forget, you've got Joe Gomez. Oh, he's their he's got a Premier League and he's got 2 Premier Leagues and a Champions League trophy, right? He's not nobody, right? He played like nobody.
Glasner's great. That's why.
So Glasner gave respect. I love Glasner. All that to say, I think the kids did a really good job. There were really strong spells where that team not only hung with Crystal Palace, could have done some damage to them. They were a couple of world-class plays and sloppy defending away from getting a result out of that match. And I know it doesn't look like it at 3-0, but I do think that early on it was very evenly poised. So kudos to the kids. They did a good job. They were not dealt a strong hand, but they did a really good job. Chiesa played an excellent game. Looked every bit the business. Ramsey, who's been out of the team for a long time, both on loan and in injury, looked really, really good. He's a right back with Frimpong out. I think that's a huge positive for us as well. Because ultimately, if something happens to Bradley, we've got to check down to Szoboszlai, but we could potentially leave Szoboszlai in the middle and bring the young Scottish, I think he's a Scottish kid, Ramsey, in to play right back. So all in all, I think it's okay. But big picture, though, I mean, I think Liverpool is in pretty deep trouble. The one thing I did want to point out, and Stephen Warnock put it pretty eloquently this week. He is a former Liverpool player. He had 40 appearances for Liverpool at one point, but mostly I think he was a Blackburn guy. He's doing some American media for NBC, and I really enjoy his commentary. It's very intelligent, and he reminded everybody, not as an excuse, I don't think, but just a reminder, this team came out and found 4 or 5 wins pretty early in the last second. And everyone was hypercritical of, they're barely squeaking on. They're getting all these injury time winners. So you can't keep doing that, right? And then immediately after that, they go on a losing skid. This losing skid, right?
I mean, I was saying that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
no, I'm not
but I
saying
mean-
he said that. I'm saying that's
Right.
what was happening, right?
Right.
Stephen Warnock is basically reminded us that basically one of the biggest issues with this team is that they're not gelling, they're not clicking, they look like a hodgepodge mess. They can't complete passes. Their runs don't make sense. Tactically, it just looks like a disaster. And again, not to make an excuse, but he reminded us that how difficult it would be for new players to come in after what happened this summer. Diogo Jota passing
That's totally fair.
has not been something that has come up a lot. Not something that I've tried to use as a crutch, and nothing that I would want to be used as a crutch. But I don't think you can understate the effect something like that has on a club. But even more importantly, it would not surprise me in the way that Warnock put it. Basically, he said there's no way that's not a factor in those guys integrating into a team that's in mourning, basically, right? Queef Kelleher actually said a bunch about this. He did a big interview with Sky, and they asked him about it point blank, and they were very respectful about it, and it was a good interview. And he basically said, "I'm glad I got out. Not because I don't love Liverpool, not because I didn't want to stay,
Right.
but because if I stayed, I'd have to see his locker. His locker's still there with his name on it. He's on the team sheet every game. 20 minutes into every
Right.
match, they're singing his name.
Right.
You can't escape it, right? You can't escape it. And I think that there is something to be said about the fragility of dealing with that, and even for Slot as well, right? So Slot, this is his first major challenge, and that's a big one,
Massive.
right? So they had a preseason, but they had a preseason that was messed up because of everything that happened. And I think Stephen Warnock did a very good job. It's out there. He's said it in multiple places. I'll let you guys look it up. I won't read it, but basically, new guys come in, and that's going to be a hard locker room to jump into because everybody's crying, everybody's sad, everybody's kind of internalizing, everybody's doing that. And obviously they're going to try and get those guys integrated, and they're going to work with them. They're going to be you fill in the blank, right? But at the same time, there's still that weird uneasy thing. So I think that is certainly a factor. I don't think it's the factor, but I think between the difficult time that they've been having and that, it's an interesting one. Slot's a lot of questions now. Is Slot under pressure? Should he be worried about his job? I think no. Two reasons. Number one, I think a lot of people are well, you pay, he paid this, he did this, it's, he did it with Klopp's team. Now he has to do it with his team. And something I talked to you about, the FSG made a pretty clear distinction when Klopp left. There's no more manager. There's a head coach now. Who they limited the scope of the role of the person that's leading the team. He picks the team sheet, he manages the tactics on the pitch, but he has very, very limited input in the player management side of things, which I think Slot prefers. He's not a man manager. He's not a go and find me this kind of player kind of guy. He's this is what I've got. This is what we're going to do with it. Type of guy, and that came out very distinctly because it looked like a slap in the face when they brought him in and changed his title, or changed the title of the role, and he addressed that. So I would say first and foremost, I think the recruitment strategy is not his, and he's adapting to that. So I don't think he could be blamed for that from a hot seat standpoint. Like, oh, he has a bunch of duds that he picked. That obviously would not be the case. Okay. That said. Tactically, I think he's done a poor job of integrating those guys. I think on paper it looks like the things that he's doing should work, but they're not. Right. And he has been known to do a very good job in second halves and in consecutive games and improving tactics. That just hasn't been the case. So I think that is he under fire? No, but is he culpable for and accountable for the mistakes that are being made? Certainly. Had this been last year, yeah, I think that we probably would be looking at Slot needing to be considered on a hot seat for sure. But coming in, taking someone else's team, right, and figuring out a way to beat Manchester City, Arsenal, etc., and make a strong run in the Champions League as well, and get crash out to the eventual champions, I think is honorable and earned him a ton of patience this year. This is the year we thought we were going to get last year, right? So I don't think he's in danger of losing his job. I do think he's in danger of continuing to get it wrong, but I do think he gets this year and probably some of next to get it sorted. If we lose out on Champions League spots, there's a chance he gets dumped in the summer just because of the lack of the financial windfall that comes from Champions League. But I don't think that we're in that territory right now.
Okay.
Will they turn it around? Probably not for a while, frankly. But I think I'm okay with that. I've resigned myself to figuring it out.
Two things. One is at One Football, One ONE Football on X. Another reminder for I don't know how legit it's going to be for the rest of the season, but the last time Liverpool lost 5 consecutive games in domestic competitions, they were relegated. So that was 72 years ago.
I was going to say, it was like, I think they've only been relegated twice.
History doesn't repeat itself. The other thing, just to the point about squeaking out games at the end there, the XG philosophy, one of my favorite places to go for information for this kind of stuff. They talked about that exact thing, that Liverpool, according to the XG philosophy and like looking at XG, essentially Liverpool won 15 points from the first 5 games when the XG of those games suggested that they only should have gotten 8 points.
Yeah.
And in the last,
they've been bad for a lot longer than
0 points from the last 4 games when the XG suggested they could have gotten as many as 6. And essentially, XG philosophy is saying you can't run from XG. At some point, it's going to catch up to you. It's really rare that you can
XG philosophy.
Yeah,
I like that name. One of the things that I said this after the United match to try and make myself feel better, but truthfully, I mean, the United match was interesting because we were all commiserating and talking about how terrible Liverpool were, and they were not good. But they were 2 decisions away from getting a result in that match, maybe even a win, right? The Gakpo no penalty and the Van Dijk soft penalty on the line away from that. And that's not including the 3 times Gakpo hit the woodwork, right? So as bad as that game was.
No, we said that. I mean, I said that specifically.
Yeah,
they were wild, like Salah and Gakpo, wildly unlucky.
We were talking about just how terrible it was and how bad Liverpool is, but like legitimately still could have gotten a result out of that pretty easily from just one of those, handful of things going their way, and it just seems like nothing is right now. And defensively, they are just they're in a mess. Issue. And that is something that I think needs to be addressed in January because I think personnel is a problem. Konate is in a weird place, and Van Dijk looks bad, but mostly just because he's running around by himself.
I just would love to know why they didn't bring in a proper center back.
I think they tried to, and that's another one. Somebody else. I was reading this today.
Got somebody. Arsenal went and got 2.
Yeah, but you also have to remember,
and they weren't bigger names, but you're
not
guys.
Wrong. You're not wrong. However, every guy wants to feel like the prettiest one in the room, right? So when you're trying to get somebody to come in, they want to feel like the prettiest guy in the room. And so if you're negotiating for a center back while also trying to get Isak or Wirtz in the door, there's no way on earth you're going to feel like the prettiest guy in the room, right?
You don't have to go
so
get. You don't have to get the guys like Gahey.
Well,
go get you some.
I don't think
guys.
we need bodies, right? Because I don't know that we could have bought anybody cheap that would have been better than Gomez, right? Leone was actually really good until he got injured.
We paid $13 million for Mascara, and he's been amazing.
But I'm saying, but even then, I mean, I don't know that I would. I mean, I hesitate to say this after Crystal Palace, but what I'm saying, Hincape has been on the list for a long time, but we couldn't do business with Leverkusen again because they were like, no, you're not coming to get another one.
Who was Wirtz there?
Yeah, Wirtz was there. So all that to say, I think their recruitment team spent probably, I hate to say too much time, but basically too much time dealing with Wirtz and Isak, and they couldn't get anybody else in the door earlier. And the Gahey deal should have probably gotten done, but Isak, right? Like, and that's a question. So you've got it. Your Arsenal's got it. Let's say Arsenal's got an option of getting, finishing the Isak deal or finishing the Gahey deal. Regardless of who's on your team, you're going to pick Isak every time.
Probably.
Right? And I think that's just what they did. Well, it looks terrible in hindsight now because Isak is terrible.
I think Arsenal would have.
They probably would have actually gotten Gahey, just because somehow we've survived without having a top striker. So,
boy, do I got some good information for you.
Buddy,
in a
thank
minute.
you, Brian.
What we want to go at?
Well done,
Travis.
Travis.
A nice bridge here from the Liverpool crisis. Just as a quick rundown of the rest of the Carabao Cup matches and what happened. Just that
did other teams play?
Other teams
just
did
Liverpool
play.
was
There
in
were
that.
a few. Arsenal is the really, really big one. But Arsenal, Manchester City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Fulham, and Brentford.
A lot of Premier League teams.
All advance.
Yeah, there was a lot of Premier League.
Tottenham,
ties.
Wolves, Brighton, and Liverpool fail miserably in their quest. Just real quick, through those teams, the only Brentford player that matters, Thiago, was an unused sub in their game. They smashed, was 5-0, so didn't need to even bring him on at the end. Fulham doesn't really matter much. I think Joachim Andersen might be the only Fulham player that anybody's really paid much attention to. Josh King scored a really cool goal in that game. The highest ownership of any Fulham player, but also somebody that is
He's just not producing in the Premier League
useless
yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Joachim Andersen is only 2.8% selected, and already knew that he was going to miss Newcastle last week. He's yellow triangle. Everybody talking about Joachim Andersen just because of defensive contributions and Fulham being
We know how much you
reasonably
love
and
to discuss.
right. Oh yeah, I can't wait. There's going to be lots of it.
Brian.
So yeah, I would have said I just thought that as soon as I saw the lineup, just it's a very unserious lineup from Liverpool. Nobody ended up even. Obviously, even with substitutes, didn't even try.
They had no substitutes that had
So-
Premier League experience except for Nalo and Cade Gordon. Cade Gordon didn't see the pitch, and Nalo, for a second match in a row, got sent off.
Mm-hmm.
His only two appearances for the Liverpool senior team were both short-lived because of red cards.
Crystal Palace with an adequate lineup. They did not. Most of the teams did not send out the full strength team.
Close.
And Crystal Palace
was probably the closest out of all, wasn't it?
Well, they had Mateta subbed on at half.
Mm-hmm. And for Nketiah.
Right, and
But
Nketiah
Nketiah hasn't been starting games. He's been subbing in for Mateta.
right, and Nketiah now has
or coming on for a defender when Mateta.
We now know Nketiah has a hamstring injury, which is not great. Which I think initial reaction is, well, there goes Mateta to the moon. Here comes minutes for Mateta, but I think there is a question of maybe that they need to protect Mateta. Can't have Mateta going down.
Right.
So just the possibility that they continue
Mateta's
with
built like he is a built dude. Him and Semenyo are like the biggest muscly, not Adam Traore muscly, but just like thick dudes that just look impervious to injury.
Ismail Assar obviously comes in and smashes again. It's just nice to see. I think if anything, the typical reaction seemed to be like, "Whoa, buddy, save it for the league." Don't.
I would be okay with that. I've had him on my team forever.
No, but the back line, Gahey, Munoz, LaCroix were the starters. They did not. Chris Richards not in the team, and Tyrick Mitchell an unused sub. And then obviously they did not start Dean Henderson in goal. So it's not. That's the thing.
That mattered.
It was a strong lineup, just not. It wasn't Premier League strong. Pino did start though. He was real good in that game. Chelsea hold on to barely beat Wolves. Pretty non-standard starters for Chelsea in that game. Cucurella, Neto, Caicedo, Enzo, and Delap all sub in after the 60th minute.
Delap, he's banned for the next
Okay,
league
so
match, right?
I don't know. Maresca's comments about the lap makes me wonder if the lap's going to see the pitch for Maresca ever again. Whatever decisions he's doing, he called him out saying that he trains. He came to him and wanted to play more minutes, and he said, do better in training. And the reporter's like, well, what does that mean? He goes, he doesn't train well. Like, and the reporter like dug into it again. He gave another really honest answer, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. The lap just got exposed.
He also said something to the effect of
by Maresca.
He also said something to the effect of after his first yellow card, I told him he needed to calm down, but sometimes he just plays for himself.
Ooh, yes.
That's a rough.
Yes, I saw. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I saw that part of the comments too.
Yeah, there's definitely something there. There's smoke on that one, so I agree with that. But that said, I mean, they're struggling in the forward line. So, like, if he's scoring,
to the moon.
Ski time.
Yeah.
Because Joao Pedro also kind of thrown under the other side of the bus from the manager talking about how he's really not built to score a lot of goals.
Maresca just dunking on players.
Just excuses.
But yes, Delap is suspended.
I like those.
Would have been interesting to see him get in the team, but it's going to be an extra week before you actually see that. Manchester City hilariously concede the first goal against Swansea. Continue to cruise.
It was a banger too.
That.
Did you see it?
I did not.
It like
I just heard that it happened as I was watching.
It could not have been more upper 90.
Oh,
like we're talking like
shot of a lifetime.
Oh yeah,
Donnarumma saves that.
It was incredible. No, he does not. It was
Holland
incredible.
not in the team. He's the suggestion of a knock. I think the bigger news for Holland was the interview that was shown with him and his girlfriend, where his girlfriend admitted that she actually liked his best friend more first.
Oh.
So I think the feeling from the analysis from relational pundits was that Holland with a broken heart is either going to perform horribly or you're going to get angry Holland who wants to take all of his relational frustration out on Bournemouth this weekend.
Wow.
Heavily rotated, though. Foden, John Stones, Josko Guardiola.
Marmoush did lead the line,
60,
though.
all subbed in after 60 minutes. Doku and Marmoush, 90 minutes each.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, they need those minutes. Marmoush needs the minutes. Doku does not need the minutes, which would make me a little...
Cherky came on and scored as well.
Right. Mostly strong starters for Newcastle and Spurs. Woltemade started.
Scored.
Malik Tial, the central defender, who's extremely good for them. That's probably saving them from having just with the injuries that they've had to deal with, Fabian Schär's concussion and stuff like that. He's been fantastic. Talk about a center back that Newcastle.
Who has more concussions, Schär or Tua Tagovailoa? This is not an NFL podcast.
It's still Tua.
It's definitely
Schär.
I don't know. It feels like Schär stays in concussion protocol.
Honestly, get some of these guys.
Should Schär wear one of the?
I was gonna say, get some of these guys the Guardian cap.
Yeah, one of the huge NFL funny-looking helmets,
and just tell them you can't jump. Dan Burn, Sandro Tonali, Fabian Schär, those guys all played over 71 minutes. Bruno, Guimaraes, Trippier, and Anthony Gordon all subbed on at 71 minutes or later. And then for Spurs, Kudus didn't sub on until the 65th minute, so I'm not sure. Can't feel good about going there, but at least you know he was rested a little bit even for this game. And then Van de Ven, an unused sub.
Kudus still ranked 8th in midfielder scoring.
He's been real life good. He had that great run.
He's had a 10 and a 12 that's given him a boost.
Right.
He's just having a Semenyo year from last year.
A little bit.
Interesting.
It's going to keep happening. No one can buy him because it's not going to translate.
Well, because there's no one for him to aim at. So if he's not scoring...
Well, that's why Richarlison dyes his hair, so you can see him.
Gosh, man. That's their worst. That's easily their biggest...
Any bigger injuries?
Arsenal, the only other thing with Arsenal...
we got to talk about that.
Arsenal, a non-standard starting lineup for Arsenal. Eze, really the only starter the only normal starter.
For sure, there was
Arsenal
11
that was
changes from the weekend.
Right. Saka, Rice, Timber, Gabriel, Trossard all sub in after 70 minutes. Calafiori, there was it was Calafiori and who else? It was, you already know that Saliba is injured.
Correct.
So Saliba's probably not even going to play this weekend.
Probably not.
But there was also the question about Calafiori, which that was cleared up immediately, that he was fine,
Right.
made the bench in this game, an unused sub in this game.
Which I love, guaranteed to.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
fantastic.
mean, I think most of the guys, as they will probably start tonight.
And then Brighton had a also pretty non-standard. Only Reuter and Baliba. Those were the two
And
main attackers.
They were standout for them.
Right, they were really good.
Baliba,
But Brighton Arsenal a little lucky in the first
for sure.
half of that game.
They should have scored. Kepa had a good game.
Yeah.
Brighton arguably should have scored twice in the first 20 minutes.
Brian, can I get a how to say on the striker that started for Arsenal in this match?
Kuba Minta started came in at 67 minutes. Danny
for
Welbeck.
Arsenal.
No, hold on.
What is this guy's name?
Look,
Oh,
man,
I didn't see it.
The country, the deep south country slang would read that like, "Hey man, is that my hairy anus?" Brian, read that Arsenal striker's name if you can find it.
No, I don't have it.
It's Harryman Anus.
It's Harryman Anus.
Okay.
But you could easily look at it again, deep
Harry
south
Man
country
Anus.
slang. Harry Man Anus. What? Who names their boy Harry Man Anus?
This is why some countries don't want to immigrate here. I did not see that, and
The announcers were so scared to say his name.
I'm sure.
They tried to duck his name the entire time.
Thank goodness this he wasn't starting in the Champions League.
I never
or
heard
else
of this kid.
Micah Richards would not have been able to make it through this segment.
His run. No, you're right, Micah. You're absolutely right.
Done.
He had a run on Saka's goal, the second goal. Harry Anus had a goal. Harryman Anus had a run, and ball was fed to him, waited perfectly, shoots it, good save by the keeper, deflects back to Saka, and then
and that's
Saka
how Saka
put it
scored.
in.
Okay.
But it was a fantastic run, great way to pass, and a great shot. Like the kid played really well. It looked like a tall guy, but could really run. I mean, he looked faster than any other striker that's played for Arsenal.
Do you have any
this
bottled
season.
water down here?
Nope.
We need to bring.
There's a spinny drift
We
right here.
need to bring a case of that down here at some point. So that's pretty much it. There was no.
The demands on this one.
James,
There was
go get us a case of water.
Tell Tyler to run up and grab it.
Yeah.
There was no other.
not in.
I don't know that there were any. No prominent injuries. Nothing that was. Holland was the one
But he didn't even
big
play.
name, but no one was
but
expecting him to be.
He
in
didn't
there
even
in
have
this
a
game
triangle
anyway.
on him
Right.
in FPL.
Some of the concern with the Arsenal players, but even then, that was cleared up before the cup game even kicked off. So.
Martinelli, I think, is probably not playing next game.
Right.
I don't know how serious it is, but I think it's just precautionary enough to not play. Along with Saliba, I think those two, along with Madueke, Odegaard, Havertz. No one tell me
I thought
that
you were
Arsenal
gonna do
doesn't have injuries.
cup and crunch.
Cup crunch.
So then, out of the Carabao Cup, I know this is on here on our list as Brian picks a fight.
Yes.
This is not me picking a fight.
Oh, no.
Are you sure?
It's not me picking a
Because
fight.
the look in your eye when you were
Not
describing what you
necessarily.
wanted to talk
Okay.
about was absolutely Brian wanted to pick a fight.
This is
Agree.
more like I want to hurl some insults out and see if two wolves fight
Right.
over the meat.
Exactly. You're picking a fight
The discourse this week
between Arsenal and Liverpool
It was
people.
wild.
You're right.
I've already said it.
I haven't even read it, so I have no idea
the,
what you're
the
talking
top
about.
Team fan banter. So the Manchester City, Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal. I'm not counting on. I mean,
Sure.
It's not the big six. It's just those five teams. The rabid fandom. I know online discourse is already its own special cesspool, but this in particular, this week was
for your own even for your own team. It's rabid and
I know. It went so.
Look, even as good as Arsenal's been, I've still seen guys who aren't happy with things going on, and I'm like, what's wrong?
Because it's boring.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
So, of course, 1-0 to the Arsenal has turned into pure domination.
Always trying to walk it in.
Of the news cycle. Liverpool has bottled the title already.
Yeah.
This is just a question. It really is. Arsenal, it's a question of how soon everyone else is going to be mathematically eliminated. We know that. So, title decided. I'm calling it. Title decided before November 1st. This might be the earliest we've ever had a title decided.
Title decided of all time.
I hope you're wrong.
I'm not sure if you guys know this, but Arsenal is pretty good on set pieces.
Are they?
Yeah.
Have they scored?
It's gotten a lot of attention.
That's only Gabriel.
I don't know if you guys.
That's only Gabriel. He's such a goal-scoring colossus.
Not sure if you guys are big news buffs.
You know who doesn't get enough credit for the set pieces, and there's a reason why. I think he's the third or fourth, or now he's in the top 5 scoring
Arsene
midfielders.
Wenger.
Declan Rice is the third highest scoring midfielder.
See?
And who is on all the set pieces?
Mostly Declan.
Mostly Declan, and then Saka on the other side.
Anyway, so just the attention that's gotten, it's legitimate. They've scored Opta stats, 43 goals from set pieces since the start of the 2023 season. That is the most.
That's kind of a lot.
It's 10 more.
That's wild.
10 more than Everton, who has scored the second most from set pieces.
You guys outscored Sean Dyche on set pieces. Way to be.
Just by set pieces. This week, it happened about a week ago. Other outlets like BBC, Sky Sports, they both ran articles on this. But Ryan O'Hanlon has an article that really got the fires burning for everybody, because his article on ESPN UK was titled "How Set Pieces Are Ruining the Premier League."
It's ridiculous.
And helping Arsenal. I blame the headline writer on that one. Usually the people who write the articles don't write the headline.
Okay.
Because the substance of the article was basically saying set pieces now are the equivalent of Moneyball in baseball. Saying that you get goal output. The teams that have focused on it have seen such a dramatic improvement in their goal scoring.
Set pieces, coaches, etc.
Set pieces score the rate that they score, and the rate that the good teams score them at is the equivalent of buying an $80 million striker. So you can focus.
Why do you need a striker if you can hit set pieces?
Right, and that's exactly what he gives the numbers on it. He's essentially saying Midtjylland in the Eredivisie won a title when they started focusing on set pieces.
Who was their manager when they did that?
That's a great question. You probably know.
I think it was Ole.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that guy. They talked about how Liverpool in their title winning year, and when they especially under Klopp, when Liverpool started focusing more on set pieces, that's when they became an even.
I think 3 or 4 years ago, led the league, and when they won the title did they win it in 19, Travis?
It was COVID year. They won it in the 20.
It was 20. They won the title in 20, Champions League in 19, I think.
I think in their 19 year, they led the league in set piece goals.
His article, the reason why he's saying it's ruining the league, it is helping. Objectively, it's helping Arsenal. So that's why it's so. That's
yeah, I mean, with that many goals,
contentious.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
What he's saying is, great, there's a few teams that have focused on it. Well, what happens if everyone starts taking analytics and saying, we need to have longer throw-ins. We need to focus on our set pieces.
Right.
The numbers that he gave were that there was a point I think it was this season where the ball has only been in play 54% of the time.
Yeah.
So that number has been floating around out there. And essentially he's saying, like, you're taking, well, this is why people are complaining about open play football basically being eliminated. Like, that's the beautiful game. You're so if everyone focuses on set pieces, you might as well just have a throw in and corner kick competition, because that's where everybody's going to throw all their money. You're not going to have any, like, why bother building a team that can do intricate buildups and all of these passing routines and all this stuff if you're going to get beat by somebody who just plays a low block and scores one or two goals on a set piece.
That's where I want it to go.
Right.
Is this teams were playing like that, and so the lesser teams that can't play with those teams, they would just play low blocks.
Right.
And they're like, all right, pass it all around.
The
back.
You can have the ball 70% of the time.
You can have the ball as much as you want. We'll hit you on a couple counters.
I was going to say,
and then we'll draw with you.
Who could crack this Arsenal nut this year? The Leicester, the league champion Leicester. Prime Vardy and Mahrez could beat this Arsenal team.
Perfect. No. Well, but
because they were great, because they were also good on set pieces.
From Arteta's side,
Robert Huth.
Oh,
remember Huth?
Oh yeah. No, but seriously though, for Arteta and them looking at it, thinking, okay, we're having an issue at times scoring goals. Teams continue to play low blocks on us. Saka's good at picking up fouls around the box. We have to do something with them. We're getting corner kicks. Why can't we be better at that?
I love how he talked about how Saka's good at laying down on the ground, and he called it good at winning free kicks.
Some people are better than others.
So
just flop.
Depending on which side you're on,
whatever works.
The media is extremely biased against either Arsenal and or Liverpool. I
think the whole narrative is stupid.
It's just a bunch
What's
of
happening is happening. It's
United.
Rules of the games.
So
nobody's doing anything illegal. They're taking forever.
The interaction,
but who cares?
The interaction that to me was like the encapsulation of this happened during Arsenal Crystal Palace. So Crystal Palace fan, a guy, someone named Liam,
Crystal Palace
at Liam B0117 on X. Liam says during the Crystal Palace Arsenal game, God, this is boring. Tap the ball backwards and sideways until they get a set piece or a throw in. We should be so much braver. These have nothing in possession. Okay?
That's what your brother's been saying for a long time.
This is a Crystal Palace fan saying this. The Arsenal fan response from the Arsenal attorney. Is that your burner?
I mean...
At Kingdom Prince, so whoever that is on X, responded, I'm actually begging for teams to be braver against Arsenal.
Agree.
If you were, it would end 10-0.
Yeah, it would be.
But your manager, like saying that Glasner, your manager and just about every manager knows better, even Pep.
Yeah.
Okay? So it was
too low blocks. It was too low blocks for a good chunk of that City Arsenal match. That was wild.
And basically what he was saying was...
That was the weirdest thing I've seen this season.
Teams have decided that this is the approach to play Arsenal, and people are mad at us about how games are turning out. That's essentially what he...
That's exactly my point.
Then there's also... I think the actual analysis, the actual analytics of this came from an account called... It was the Football Era. At Football Era on X. So essentially they play the highest defensive line in the league by a lot. And teams simply do not come out to play football against Arsenal. And he says that in the and has the data sheet just on a XY axis of where the high lines are.
They're playing an Ange level high line.
Oh, I'm saying they are the outlier. They're the outlier on the axis chart where they have the last 4 years where almost every year it was City, Arsenal, and Liverpool kind of in the top
lines.
Corner.
Yeah.
And the last 3 years, it's basically been that. This year, it's Arsenal out here, and then Brighton. It is it is a gap like the team that plays the next highest line compared to Arsenal. Essentially, he's saying the few teams that actually have tried to go toe-to-toe with Arsenal have given up at least 3 or 4 goals. So here's the reason. So what this did.
This is why they're winning the league, Brian.
So this is what this did for me, okay?
No, they just need to play a low block and practice set pieces.
That's exactly. So immediately made me think I want to go on another Gabriel rant. But it didn't.
But then he got an assist last week.
He didn't.
He didn't get that?
No, he didn't touch it.
Yes, he did.
No,
he
did
headed
not.
it to Eze.
I thought he did
It's
too.
not an assist. He got 9 because he got 3 bonus points.
I thought he flicked it on. He flicked it on.
I promise you.
He flicked it on because I wanted to text you so bad, and then I was like,
I know.
He didn't
I'm
touch
not
it.
going to. You're full. You're full.
Find the pictures. I promise you.
No,
this is proven.
He did.
He didn't touch it.
He did. He's too good at set pieces.
I know his sheer goal piece
not
threat. I mean, even if he didn't touch it, they should give it to him anyway, just on sheer threat.
I agree.
He did not touch it.
Like he was drawing so many defenders in that he rose above them.
I know.
He flicked it on with a couple of hairs at least.
It's crazy because he never pushes off, and he is so strong. He never falls down.
He never falls down.
I know.
That is true.
It's the craziest thing.
Travis, they did not give him.
Well, I know they didn't give it to him because clearly he would have known that.
Right.
But I will say this: that statement is insanity to me because it never fails to annoy me just how strong defenders can be when they're the one that's dishing out.
Yes.
But as soon as they get touched, they are the biggest babies, and it makes me so incredibly angry.
The other thing that Gabriel has, it's a really big threat. He has the best right hook. So when he needs to hit a guy bigger than him, say Woltemade, when he needs to punch him in the face, he can do it and it just takes him straight out.
Yeah, but he hasn't swung as well as he used to when he got that head injury from Holland throwing the ball. He's just not the same. He's not the same boxer.
Stay humble.
That was funny.
Stay humble.
Anyway, the point is, this is not another Gabriel thing. It's specifically this week because everyone in FPL it's the same thing yet again. It is all the back patting from people who are pointing out the obvious of
I told you Gabriel was good.
I knew they were good on set pieces. I've been saying it all year.
As good as Harry Van Anus.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
Just because there are it's the number of people who have expressed the thought or straight up recommendation of captaining Gabriel this week against Burnley. So this is what it made me.
You're going to do it, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
You don't even own it.
I don't have it. I can't get to it.
Look, not that anyone, people probably know, but if they don't, in Gabriel's last 4, it's 11, 9, 12, 9.
Right.
No, I'm sorry, 13. 13, 9, 12, 9.
Right. And one of those
ridiculous.
I said one of those was the Newcastle game. So whatever. But I'm saying this is the point. So on paper it makes sense. The matchup rater says Burnley green, Arsenal burning hot red by defensive by matchup. So obviously you're not buying all the Burnley defenders, despite the fact that they just kept a clean sheet and have also been useful.
They've won 2 in a row. Burnley has.
Overall, Arsenal they have the third most shots per game, 14.8 shots per game, which is third. They're behind Manchester United and Liverpool. They average 4.1 shots on target per game, which is 9th most, but still, they're shooting a lot. 9 goals from set pieces, objectively excellent. The number 1 scorer in the league so far in the season.
1 per game?
9 games, 9 goals from set pieces.
Look at that math.
Are you a mathematician?
Wow.
Chelsea's got 8. They're the second most. Wow. Are they set piece FC Junior?
Yeah.
Are they
sure.
Arsenal too?
They're not not a target that people want to hate on.
I guess. Arsenal has 17.08 XG for the season.
Okay.
Team XG 17.08, which is 4th best. They're behind Manchester United, Liverpool, and Crystal Palace. They've scored 16 real goals, which is that's the second highest total of goals in the league. Bournemouth and Liverpool have 16. Tottenham, Manchester City, and Chelsea have scored 17. Okay. Arsenal's taken 54 shots from set pieces. That's number one. And it's number one by 7. Chelsea's 47 shots. And they average 5.76. Their XG from set pieces is 5.76. Crystal Palace is actually higher, which I don't know if you might have guessed that or not.
I think I did know that.
Palace is a little bit higher.
Never heard of him.
Overall defense, Burnley's the worst. They average their 20.19 XG against, which is the worst. 14 goals conceded so far this season, which is 4th worst. Only they're Liverpool and Manchester United have both conceded 14 goals also, by the way. They've allowed 165 shots, 18 shots per game, which is worst and worst. West Ham is second worst, and they are considerably worse than West Ham. Overall.
Okay.
Dave, you can probably guess where I'm going with this. The home and away splits tell a totally different story here.
Okay.
Arsenal in away games this season, 14 shots per game, second most, still good. 4 shots on target per game. That's basically what they're doing overall in the season average. XG drops to 6.29.
Oh.
10th.
Wow.
They are 10th for XG in away games.
Outperforming XG.
They've scored 4 goals in their away games, which is 6th most. Everton and Fulham have scored 6 goals in away games. Everton and Fulham have scored 4 goals. Same as Arsenal.
Probably 1-0.
So all 4 goals in the away games that Arsenal scored were set piece goals. Who did they play in those away games? Manchester United?
We're lucky to win that game.
What was the result?
1-0.
You're at Liverpool?
0-1.
Lost 1-0.
Lost 1-0.
Newcastle?
1-0.
With the fraudulence. You won.
It's 2-1. It's 2-1.
2-1.
2-1.
Fulham away.
1-0.
1-0. At pattern?
Yeah.
Burnley at home.
It's a winning pattern.
18 shots allowed at home per game, still the most. 72 total shots allowed, second most. 8.09 XG allowed. So 8.09 XG against, which is fourth worst.
Okay.
2 real goals conceded at Turf Moor.
That's it?
2. You can probably guess that there's only one team that has conceded fewer goals at home.
Probably Arsenal.
Yeah. 0.11 XG per shot allowed at home, which is the 4th lowest.
That's interesting.
You want to guess how many set piece goals Burnley has allowed this season?
0.
Probably 0.
1. They've allowed 1 set piece goal this season.
I know they allowed a penalty. They gave one to Salah. Otherwise, Liverpool would have an extra. Well,
right. Well, and then Burnley in their home games, they played Sunderland at home. They won 2-0. They played Liverpool at home, which ended
3-2.
1-0 because of a Salah 90 plus 4 minute penalty.
Right. It was a second, 10 seconds away from a
They drew
draw.
Nottingham Forest at home 1-1, and they played Leeds at home and won 2-0 in this recent game.
Haven't exactly played a bunch of bangers except for Liverpool.
Right. I understand that. I know that the competition is not like the peak of competition, but given everything in the narrative, the way the conversation has gone, the blueprint is out there. Everyone already is setting up in a particular way. If no one is going to go toe to toe with Arsenal to try to outrun them, everyone's going to set up the same, and especially in home games. Why are you going to want to? No one is going to. You don't want to get walked at home against Arsenal.
No, but you don't necessarily want to just sit back and take a beating all day.
I think everyone is willing to do that.
Wow.
What was the complaint for Arsenal whenever they played Liverpool?
The low block that they played?
Arsenal wasn't aggressive enough.
Right.
That they allowed themselves to end up get beat, which I think might be
by a set piece.
Is
ironically,
that the most inexplicable result of the season so far?
So you know what's interesting is there was a lot of criticism about them not playing aggressive enough and going forward enough. Since that game,
yeah,
it does seem like things have been different.
I do agree a little bit, but there's still They're still tentative.
I'm
They're
just
definitely
saying
still tentative.
1-0
All right,
to the,
so
well, I'm
what-
just saying that 1-0 to the Arsenal isn't just an annoying and boring way to watch football. It's the consequence of the way everyone is setting up to play them.
Yeah.
Arsenal's also seems perfectly.
They're not the only ones that are getting that, though. I will say that most
think
everybody sets up against City that
Right,
way.
but
Most everybody sets up against Liverpool that way.
And I think teams, the way that Manchester United is playing, people might be
Yeah.
setting up against Manchester United that
Agreed.
way,
And
the way that they're currently
a lot of
playing.
times Chelsea too.
So,
but
so then
mostly-
you got to figure it out. And
Right.
Arsenal's figured it out in such a way. Number one, would stop the counterattacks.
Right, which Arsenal has
Yeah.
only. So that's the thing. Arsenal themselves have only had two counter like what are counting as counterattack.
One of them was the Martinelli goal, probably on City, to draw that.
Yeah, that was definitely
So far this
counterattack.
season,
I'm trying to think of the other one. It's
Opta
easy.
stats right now. They are credit for what they are calling fast
Actually,
breaks.
It might have been another Martinelli goal.
So they,
Probably was.
if you go to the miscellaneous stats for every team and you like touches in the opposition box, the number of times they've hit the post, offsides, penalties, all those things. They're keeping track of what they're calling fast break stats. Number one in the league for fast breaks, like what you would call a fast break this season, is Liverpool. They've had credited for 14 fast breaks. You know how many has Arsenal had?
Not many.
2. They're credited with 2. It's because when are they ever getting the chance to do that?
Yeah.
They've had no chance to do that.
Because
Twice.
they're not conceding corners.
Right. They're not ever doing. So what I'm saying is,
Yeah. I wonder how those correlate to corners conceded too.
That's an interesting call.
Because that's when all the Liverpool's fast breaks are. It's
Are
when they're
typically off
defending a
clearances
corner
from corners.
and then they
Right.
yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, Arsenal, yes, they have 1 billion touches in the opposition box. They're taking the most shots. They have the most shots from set pieces. They're taking the most set pieces. But they're so good at set pieces that they beat West Ham 2-0. They're so good at set pieces that they beat Crystal Palace 1-0. Is Palace lucky to not have conceded at least one other goal?
Probably.
Yeah, kind of. But I'm saying, like, that ended up being the final score. So I'm saying, like, Arsenal seems perfectly content to choke the life out of teams at 1-0. Who's going to score against them? If they don't make a mistake,
Right.
no one's already trying to play toe-to-toe with them.
That's correct. The only team that truly has was Leeds. Leeds came out
Right. Leeds tried to do it
and they lost
4-0.
Yeah.
5-0.
5-0.
No, it ended up being 5.
5-0.
I'm just saying.
At least Leeds gave it a go.
Right.
And you know what? They should have got extra points for that, right?
This is why, like, so Scott Parker has already, like, ahead of this match, has already, like, he has done a ton to talk up, like, they're the class of the league. I don't understand the complaints about the style of play. They are class front to back. They're passing, like, we know what they do. So I think you have a manager that's very much in the same mindset of everybody else. I'm just saying,
preparing to do the low block.
Arsenal is going to win the Premier League by defense and set pieces alone, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. But unless the
They'll change the rules next year so they can't happen again. But yeah,
unless their $100 million striker finds all of a sudden turns into the most clinical striker in the world,
he's got to run.
Well,
and maybe put off.
You mean the $68 million striker?
it seems like, I'm just saying, their offense is a naturally lower ceiling, regardless of how good their players are.
Because it's not needed to
Right.
win the games.
They are they when have they been pushed? When they were losing 1-0 on the Szoboszlai free kick.
Yeah.
Which was pretty late.
When
truthfully.
Woltemade
It was 87th minute, wasn't it, Travis, or something
Pretty
like that?
late.
Maybe
when
it was
Woltemade
81st.
scored first
Yes.
in the Newcastle game.
Yes.
Then you're getting pushed. So
Yeah.
then you have to chase the game, which
The-
is the reason why Gabriel got so mad and why he resorted to punching Woltemade in the face and not getting caught.
Right.
I mean, that's what it took, was getting pushed.
How VAR doesn't. That's insane.
I know.
To me.
Listen,
It's insanity.
It just looked worse than it was, Brian.
It definitely did. It looked bad enough. It looked bad enough to where it should have.
It actually looks worse and worse the more you watch it. It looks so bad by the time you see it the third or fourth time that you're like,
surely something happened.
Was VAR in the booth? Were they on a bathroom break and they just there's a moratorium on how long it
probably
can
the
go
same
back?
guy that didn't award the Diaz goal.
I'm just saying
They got a phone call from Chauncey Billups.
I'm saying that if you want to go listen to the same kind of thing, FPL Wired talked about a similar thing because of the repeated refrain here for weeks and weeks. Gabriel is such a monster. Gabriel is just such a set piece monster. You gotta captain the guy. If you're not gonna captain him this week,
although
when are you ever gonna do it?
In the last 4 weeks, you're sitting pretty sweet.
You're feeling really good, especially because you got away with a punch in the face.
That got bonus points for that.
That should have been worth at least. That's like extra.
That's at least the fourth mention of the punch in the face. That wasn't
I'm just
called.
saying, like, this week though, I thought Praz made the really good point of just saying, even the odds makers, this seems like this really does feel like the safest clean sheet ever.
It does seem like that.
Feels like a safe clean sheet.
But been watching the game, Matt and I talk about this all the time.
It's not going to happen.
What you think oftentimes is going to happen doesn't happen in this league.
You could be as certain of a 1 or 2-0 victory in this game for Arsenal as any possible game. I'm just saying Burnley's not there. Burnley's out of the relegation zone.
Yeah.
Burnley's clear of the bottom.
They've got enough
they're in
points to
16th.
stay up. Yeah.
Do you think they want to lose the goal differential that they have right now? Do you think that they really they'll want to get smacked by Arsenal at Turf Moor? I don't think so.
No.
So even if they do let in a goal early, are they going to chase the game? Like, there's no way they're going to play that way. I'm just saying, like, I'm not at all downplaying Arsenal's effectiveness. I'm not saying that the players are bad. I'm just saying the ceiling feels very capped on all of them. And so if they're not going to win penalties, if they can do all of the dancing around the box and falling down and getting the set pieces as much as they want, but everyone is. That's the way everyone has to gear themselves to play them. So I'm just saying, you already had a game, and I thought that was that was the point that Praz made, was specifically to mention West Ham. West Ham has been by far the worst at conceding set pieces. When you have Arsenal playing West Ham at Emirates, where you're like, oh, this is a shoo-in. Like, if all of the center backs, if they sub on the other two center backs, they're all going to score a goal, and they didn't. It ends up being a 2-0 pretty routine victory where, there's not any, necessity for them to go out and just stomp the life out of them. All of that to say, I thought that was really interesting once you get into the numbers, just to say, I think
Gabriel actually is a goal threat.
Gabriel he has the same number of shots this week that he had last week. He still has that one shot on target.
Right.
Just the one. But no, he ran it. He was so much threat. He almost knocked the woodwork down.
Oh my gosh, that looked like it was
dude.
Not
He
good.
hit that hard.
Yeah. That was was not
really
a
hard.
Great situation.
I'm just saying.
Travis, you think he's got a line bruise?
I think he's not procreating anymore.
It's extremely lucky he didn't destroy those veneers on his teeth.
Ooh.
That was personal.
All I'm saying is,
every week it's going to get more personal.
That got real personal.
Travis, more personal.
Jeez.
All I'm saying is, I hate that I only have one Arsenal player.
I thought you were going to say
I only have
Gabriel.
one Arsenal defender going into this game.
I know.
I did not have the money. I would have had to go to someone that I do not want.
Do you think it's worth taking a hit to bring in? Because
so I've considered that.
I've already. No, I can't because
Look, you heard me last week.
I can't. at this point.
As much as I gripe about it, it's not the player and it's not the scores. It's this relentless, idiotic narrative, the back padding of people who are recommending the most obvious
Right. And
player
then,
for
look at me, I captained Holland.
right. Hilarious. It was a FPL Marcin, Marcin.
By the way, didn't you suggest this past week that captaining Holland might not be a good idea on the pod last week?
I also at
Didn't
least
you-
asked the question of whether or not Brentford could get a result against Liverpool, and I think we all kind of laughed it off.
I did laugh that off. I said, no way that
I don't remember
happens.
that.
I just said that
I was wrong.
For sure said
You were
anybody
right. I
can.
remember you, because I asked you who you're going to captain. You're like,
Only there was a way.
probably going to do Holland, but I think if there's a week to do it, don't do it this week.
I just didn't
Yeah.
like the matchup against Villa, who had picked it up. Villa's on a roll here. They're on a great roll.
What's going to happen when Liverpool rolls into Villa, or Villa rolls into Liverpool this weekend?
Villa's going to kick it long, and Ollie Watkins
And
is
do
going
long
to finally
throw-ins.
score get off the schneid.
They might change the lineup.
I got good numbers on that too.
Might actually.
No,
Some teams
at
do
the
that.
end
I don't know
of,
if you
I mean,
knew that.
even at the end, I mean,
They might.
I don't think that it's insane to have Gabriel, Timber,
Timber.
Calafiori,
Or Raya.
whatever combination of those guys. Why wouldn't you do it? They are the best defense who is going to keep. I don't know how many clean sheets they're going to keep in this next. The fixtures are a little tougher.
No, they're not.
Not for Burnley.
Oh, I think you're talking about for Arsenal.
No, but they've got a
You
few.
talking about Burnley?
No, I'm talking about Arsenal.
At Burnley, at Sunderland, international break, North London derby.
After the break.
After the break,
Yeah, after
North
the break.
London
The next two are fine.
at Chelsea.
Yeah,
You're
there's-
still staying in London. You're still staying in London with a home game to Brentford. Then you finally on December 6th go away at Sunderland and Burnley is the weekend, and then they're back.
No, that's what I'm saying. They like the next two. That's what I'm saying. You want to pile on them. I understand the pile on them, and I'm saying I think it's a reasonable. It's expensive. We said it last week. It's an expensive choice. I just don't think anybody's going to do it.
Right.
I think everyone is going to try to talk. Like 22% of people have Gyökeres. Why? For
'Cause we're
what?
dumb.
22%. He's a 22% selected
bound
striker.
to score at some
Oh
time.
yeah, sure. Listen, the question was, it was Saka or Gyökeres. Do you sell Gyökeres for Saka? And even Saka, I think, is, I don't know. He's capped. Did he do anything last week? No, he didn't. Eze scores the goal. So that's where
He
I'm
didn't
just
look good against Palace. He did look good in his little cameo
right.
against Brighton, but he did not look good against Palace. In fact, a lot of people was like, "This is his worst performance of the season."
Anyway, the whole point is, I just think in a week that was Praz's point on the FPL Wire this week was basically to say, if you want to captain Holland, who by the way has a not great record against Iraola's teams, he hasn't scored one, and his XG is pretty
Really?
low, and in 4 games against
And they're
Iraola.
They're
home
home
against
against
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, but he does score more at home.
Right.
We'll talk about that at Night Moves.
But either way, just to say, if Holland scores, you're talking about a minimum. It's at least, it feels like it's at least an 8.
Would you captain Holland or Saka this week?
I'm saying I don't think I would captain
Either.
I think if you wanted to captain
Gabriel.
if you wanted to captain an Arsenal defender, it's about the safest 6 or more that you could ever captain. I mean, it feels
Right.
like that.
If you're going for a 6,
Right. If you want the nicest floor on a captain, you captain an Arsenal defender this week. I think that if you had gone away, this was one of the other good, as far as the narrative this week, the list of the top scoring players every week. Alex Volo, who is rapidly becoming one of my favorite content creators.
Clearly.
Just talked about look at the top scoring players for every single week. The one thing you notice about it is Holland's not on it once.
Wow.
You could have gone that was his one of the things that he pointed out was everyone is going to tell you, go ahead, Captain Holland, because that's what Like,
Yeah.
because that's what everyone is going to do. Because that's what everyone wants. His point this week was, if you want to have the same team as FPL Harry and you just want to have a good rank, then you're not really playing. You're just copying. So that's why he was just saying, like, you want to go. Like, this is your chance. If you had captain Brian Mbumo this week,
Oh, buddy.
you're loving life.
Oh, buddy.
You had captained any of those guys, you could have captained Bruno Fernandes and gotten a better score than you did if you captained Holland. So this essentially saying there are players that you can go away from him and probably have just as good of a chance of coming away with a good score as anybody else. So yeah, I'm not crazy about, like, I don't have Gabriel to captain him anyway. I understand why people would do that. But, like, even this week, I mean, he ends up getting 3 bonus points. He was tied with Eze. I think he and Eze tied. Both got 3 bonus points. Was it Rhea that was on, like, in the bonus point system, was on, like, a 27, so he ended up getting two bonus?
Ooh.
It was 3-3-2.
And that's the only people that got it. Calafiore was 1 BPS point away from.
I know.
So that was really annoying. That was where I'm like,
I was looking at that.
right, those
'Cause I
guys.
have him.
He goes for a 6 instead of an 8. Whatever. I'm just, this is Calafiore propaganda. That's it. End of
Brian picks a fight.
End of me picking a fight. I'm not picking a fight.
Other odds and ends. When I'm looking, other captains' choices. Voltemade at West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
West
Yeah,
Ham
that's
has exactly.
Again, back to the set piece point. You probably like a striker who's going to play a minimum of 70-ish minutes against that crap team.
Okay.
Because he's the target man.
Yeah. The only target man, really. I mean, Dan Burns out there, but he's not in there.
But I don't hate that.
Voltemade, his last 3 games, 90, 90, and 85. So it's
Minutes. Yeah.
He did play midweek a good number of minutes
Right.
too, so there's that too.
Just some of the other guys, I guess, this week. Do you want to drag Liverpool back into this? Salah did
Not
score.
really.
Who?
Open play goal.
Who?
Does that do anything for
First of play goal in a while.
Mohamed Salah is one of he plays right wing, I think.
I thought he
He
retired.
was playing in the middle by the end of that match. That was such a weird, like, snag and slap. Like his left foot was above his head.
That's the
when he controlled
pod
that.
title, snag and slap.
I thought it was slag and snap.
No,
Snag.
That's a much
and
different
slap.
thing.
And apostrophe.
Snap.
Do you know that Mo Salah, outside the top 40 for transfers in this game week, 42nd most transfers in? I mean, obviously one of the most transferred out, but
Right.
but 42nd. When is the last time?
That has ever happened.
When is the last time he has been?
He was playing for Chelsea or Roma. And Roma's not even in the Premier League.
5,800 people.
Thank you for that.
5,800 people found the money to bring Salah into their team now. That is a wild.
I think a gentleman.
Those are some
his
wild
name was
cards.
Warren Buffett. He said, "Buy the dips."
Well,
Buy low.
I mean,
Buy low, Brian.
He can go lower.
In the South, there was grocery stores. There's a grocery store chain with the name Buy Low.
Yeah, I had buy low.
Yeah? Did you?
We had a buy low up there.
Okay. Up in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Nice.
It lasted for a long time. There is the actual. We'll say this probably the rest of the season. Dominic Szoboszlai, Liverpool Player of the Season.
Clearly, it already has earned it.
10 points this
Give him
year.
the trophy now.
10 points because he got the assist on the Salah goal. 3 bonus points. Like scores a 10 this week.
Somehow Salah's still scoring more fantasy points.
Well, no, he's
than
got
Szoboszlai.
He's
Szoboszlai-
scoring.
Szoboszlai has 41 points for the season, which is 1 less than Salah and Gakpo, but basically the same price as Declan Rice. You're buying Declan Rice if you're picking between the two guys if you have the money for it, but just that Szoboszlai is in World Cup form, and I just think,
Yeah.
like he's playing fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to count on returns from him all the time, but he's
No.
amazing. Just one other thing on Liverpool and Aston Villa. The last 4 times they've played, okay, when it's been at Anfield, Liverpool won 3-0. So that was fall of 23. They won 3-0. Fall of 24, they won 2-0. When they played at Villa Park, it was a 3-3 draw in the spring of 24.
Okay.
And then it was a 2-2 draw in February. Is this the game that breaks that streak?
That breaks the streak, probably.
Like Liverpool
Yeah.
will not win this game
And keep a clean sheet.
and keep a clean sheet.
No, they won't.
Okay.
I think Liverpool get a draw out of this game.
Okay.
I think
But
Liverpool is
it's not a
capable
clean sheet.
of
I think it's
of
like a
draw or a
2-2.
win.
I think it's like a
But
2-2
Liverpool's
game.
not going to do that. They're just not going to do that.
I don't think they're going to lose. I think there's no way they lose a 5th Premier League game in a row. I think there's literally no way that happens. I think it's a draw.
There's a way that they lose 7 games in a row.
How do you not trust Unai Emery, who's gotten this team back on track to get a result at the most vulnerable Liverpool team
Liverpool's got
in
too
our
much
recent
talent
memory?
to not be able to get a draw at home against anyone, especially Villa.
Not since
They're going to have a chance against Madrid midweek.
Not
three
since
days
they were
later.
starting your favorite skinhead has this Liverpool team been so abject.
Martin Skirtle and Daniel Agger.
He wasn't skinhead, though.
Don't overlook Brentford. I think Brentford is nice. They're making it really easy like Manchester City. There's only one guy you really want
And
from that
he's-
team.
He's getting it done, old Thiago.
Thiago, I guess you could talk me into Kelleher if you wanted a real differential goalkeeper, but you're not doing that. You know I love a 4-week sample size.
Yes, we do.
In the last 4 weeks among forwards, Thiago is 3rd for points behind Holland and Danny Welbeck.
Welbs.
My guy. 15 shots, 3rd behind Mateta and Holland.
Okay.
9 shots on target, which is 2nd most. He and Mateta have 9 shots on target, trailing only Erling Haaland's 11. 4 goals from a 4.48 XG, which is both second to Mateta. 9 big chances in the last 4 games, second only to Jean-Philippe Mateta. Thiago's had 9 big chances, 1 more than Erling Haaland in the last 4 games. Scored another goal this week, 4 goals in his last 4 games, 6 goals total for the season. And who cares about fixture difficulty with Thiago? He has scored his goals against Sunderland, Manchester United, Manchester City, and Liverpool.
All teams in the north.
And for what it's
True.
worth, their fixtures are pretty good. A lot of green and gray fixtures until January for Brentford. Seems like an extremely safe forward pick for a while.
Credit to Brentford for losing their coach, losing their top players, and they're still figuring out a way to get it done.
You had Reinders or not Reinders?
Are you pointing at me?
Either of you?
I haven't had riders since like week 2 or 3.
Okay, you got rid of him. That was
On my wild
that was a
card.
smart move.
I just
still
been
have
sitting on my bench.
Okay. I finally sold him.
He's cheap, and I have other fires, so there's
Yeah.
left him there. And I still have money. I've had him since he was 5'5", so he's at 5'6" now. So
we should probably say that Mickey Van de Ven made fools out of many people this week. 23 points for Mickey
I had
Van
all
de
of
Ven.
them.
yeah,
You played him.
weird.
I captained him.
No, you didn't.
The number one guy and the number one scorer in
Of course
FPL
of course I started
captained
him.
him.
I started him. Yeah, absolutely.
You had him and you started him.
Absolutely.
I did too.
Oh, that's great because I sold him.
I was like, we're not. I was like, I don't know what to tell you.
I didn't think this was controversial.
I didn't think it was that big a deal either.
He's so cheap, and he's been producing. Of course, no one plans on 2 goals.
Yeah,
He had not been producing.
he had gone a couple of weeks with.
He had gone a few weeks, but he's so cheap. Like, I know it's going to come back around. It's Thomas Frank managing, not Ange.
2-2-0 last 3 matches.
Right.
It was not good.
In the last 4 games, he has 27 points. He scored 23 this week.
Right. Okay.
I cannot think of someone who was more of a this Spurs team is just not firing right now.
First
playing at Everton, I understand that's not like a juggernaut of a matchup, but it's not like I can't wait to get to play Everton because they seem to find a way.
Look,
but Van de Ven getting a brace is insane.
Yes, it was a nice surprise.
Who was it going to start instead? Joe Rodon?
Right. Well, that's the way people talk.
Joe Rodon, I'd love to have in my team.
I do have him on my team. He's on my bench.
I think it was FPL official. One of those teams was talking. It was like, all right, like he's been benched by so many managers. Like, or when Gabriel was like, a risk to may not play this week. Who's got Rodon coming in off their bench? And there was like all of the idiots who respond to that kind of thing with, "How do you bench Rodon against West Ham? He's in my team." That said, like that. I mean, okay, good work, everybody.
I kind of see that.
I would say that's.
I mean, if you're going to start
I don't disagree. If you're going to start him, it's against West Ham.
It's West Ham.
I benched him. It was great. It's easily. I think that's my number one all-time worst player swap by points. I took Van de Ven out last week. It was Van de Ven out for Reece James.
Oh.
So essentially it turned into a 23 out and a 1 in.
Oh man.
Yeah. Could not have been dumber.
Yeah,
if I had kept the Spurs players, because I got rid of Richarlison and Van de Ven, if I had kept them and bench boosted this week, I would have scored over 100. Because I would have gotten Rodon's points.
That's amazing.
If I would have had different players and used chips, I would have scored.
If I would have picked the players who scored all the points, I would have done better this week.
Ryan, why are you surprised? You probably told Travis and I at some point to start Van de Ven.
Yeah, probably.
Because we just do what you say because you never do what you say.
I just don't think. Does it matter now? Because I can't go back to him. Spurs schedule: Chelsea, United, Arsenal, Fulham, Newcastle, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Brentford. Easily the next 4 of the next 5. I mean, please play Van de Ven again. He's gonna get a brace.
I'm benching him this week against Chelsea.
Right.
I'm also benching Cucurella.
The only other big giant thing I think is what to do with Manchester United.
I brought in Bumo.
Manchester United, Arsenal haters.
Out, Bumo in.
Arsenal haters forced to root for Manchester United, the only hope for preventing an Arsenal title.
Travis, I saw literally earlier tonight, a guy interviewing a guy on the street. So someone getting interviewed on YouTube.
Man on the street.
And someone was saying, "Hey, can City challenge? Is City are they going to challenge for the title?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And the guy said, they're on 16 points. And the guy's like, "Yeah, I think City will challenge." And then he said, "Okay, what about United? They're on 16 points as well." And he's like, and I get it. I mean, that's the same thing as saying, Bournemouth's sitting on 18 points, Sunderland's on 17, Tottenham's on 17. How many are those guys title challengers? I mean, at the moment, yes.
If anybody out of the top 5 right now that can go the distance.
Look, the Spurs are in third with 17 points.
They don't have the personnel.
Thomas Frank.
No. They're going to Spurs. At some point, they're going to Spurs.
Brian's probably right. They don't have enough personnel yet. Their teams aren't that much deeper than
Dominic
Bournemouth or
Solanke
Sunderland.
can't get over an ankle injury. It feels like it's taking forever. There was at least one report during the week about Thomas Frank not necessarily liking what he's seen from Solanke, whether Solanke's a fit for what Thomas Frank wants to do.
He's not, because he wants a Bumo and Vissa pressing
It's
guy.
just not. That's why Richarlison stayed in.
Yeah.
He keeps playing.
Richarlison fits the mold that Frank
he works
wants.
hard, but he's just not. He's not doing what needs to be done. Brennan Johnson can't do what he was
Kudus
doing.
Feels like a guy.
Kudus is. I don't know. I don't know what Simons wants to do. If he wants to,
Xavi. I thought Xavi was gonna light the world on fire.
I just think it's either it's
Xavi,
the integration into the team. It's
Xavi
just not
playing with.
It's not working
Liverpool
right now.
or Spurs.
It's just not working.
It's been a little bit stutter start. Yeah.
Manchester United, Brian Mbeumo, not a differential anymore. He's got to be close to 23%, if not over 23% selected by now. 51 points for the season, second only to Semenyo. Hilarious. What a weird year. Still fewer points than Senesi has as the sixth highest scoring defender. Brian Mbeumo is the number one midfielder on the season for shots on target. He's tied for first for shots in the box, and he has the most shots from open play. Brian Mbeumo, the number one. It's not surprising that he's gotten his returns. It just took him a while the returns to catch up with the numbers. These numbers were already there weeks ago. I think that the Manchester United attack, they are still doing so good. They are second to Crystal Palace for overall XG.
Right.
Only Palace is higher for them or than them. They have 15 real goals, so they're underperforming their XG. This is it's crazy to say they obviously come up. Fourth highest XG from open play, fourth highest XG from set pieces, second most shots. Only Liverpool has taken more shots this season than Manchester United, and 47 shots on target, which is number one overall. They've hit the woodwork 7 times, more than Gakpo, more than anyone. So it's they're number one for woodwork shots. If they could shoot right, they'd be winning more. That's the takeaway from this. I guess the question is who's brave enough to double up on attackers? You could talk me into
you have Bumo and Fernandes.
I have Bumo and Bruno. I don't see a situation where I move that on.
Not yet.
I probably wouldn't. If I felt desperate enough, I could move Bruno I could go to Declan Rice and turn one of my defenders into Gabriel or Timber. If I really wanted to, take a -8, that's kind of the way I would do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd get it back right away on a Gabriel goal.
Yeah, because Gabriel's going to score at least 2 this week. All
right.
But I'm just saying, you could talk me into, Cunha had a good game this week. Sheshko gets an assist this week. So I know he's expensive. Hear me out. First of all, Cunha is down to 7.9, and he's only 4.1%. In the last 4 weeks, he has 11 shots and 4 of them on target, which is second of all midfielders, second most. So since he's come back from his injury, he's looked excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Scores a goal this week. He's only started 3 of the last 4 games. He's second highest shooting midfielder in 4 games. For the season, he has 19 shots with 9 on target, which is 4th and 3rd. And he's been out. He's played 20 minutes, 0 minutes, and 30 minutes or something like that in 3 of the games that he's played, or 3 of the games this season. Cunha, totally, to me, an option if you didn't want to spend the extra money on one of the other guys. Hear me out on Sheshko. I know you don't want to hear this.
No, he's fine. He's doing great.
First start was in game week 4. He's only started 4 of the 6 games since then. He has 11 shots and 7 shots on target, which is 4th most of all forwards.
Okay.
So I'm just saying 5 big chances in 4 games. He did that in 60 to 100 minutes fewer than all of the other forwards above and around him.
Okay.
So 25 points in the last 4 games, which is 5th most of all forwards. By the way, 9 points more than Gyökeres has scored in the last 4 games. I'm just saying, Dave. Gyökeres is 22% selected. Sheshko is 5% or 4% or something.
Yeah. I don't own either.
That's it.
All right. No, it's awesome. Hey, Brian, no one can pick a fight like you. Well done.
I have others.
What a weird week. What a weird week. It was a great weekend for an Arsenal fan with City,
Yeah,
Chelsea,
kind of best case for you.
Liverpool all losing. Spurs, did Spurs lose? I think Spurs lost too. It was Spurs
no,
didn't
Spurs
lose. Spurs won.
Spurs won. They
Spurs
lost.
won. They lost their
Cup
Carabao
game.
Cup.
Right.
But overall, a great weekend for Arsenal. Hey, look, we're loaded down. I don't know what to pick this weekend. Brian, your stat about Holland not scoring against Areola teams, it's kind of hard to fathom he would go 2 games in a row without scoring at this point. But you know what, Brian? I think I'm going to have fun. It's only fun if it works.
Yep.
I think I'm going to captain Calafiori.
It was Raul, Rahul, on X, who shared the stat that in 4 games against Areola's Bournemouth, Manchester City have won 3 of them. They lost 1, but in those 3 games, Holland only played half of one of the games, started and played the majority of minutes in the other 3, 0 goals, 0 assists, no game with a total XG in the 4 games of 1.85.
Yeah.
But scored nothing.
I think teams they've probably known this, but they got to City has to have someone else step up and score goals.
Yeah.
Holland continues to score so many goals. What would City look like in the table if Holland wasn't scoring goals for them? I'm still going to start him, but because I'm not that bold. Bold would be benching him. I'm not going to do that, but I do think I'm going to captain Calafiori and just get crazy. Captain Calafiori or Abumo this week, or Voltamade. I like those alternate captains to Holland. My transfer was bringing in Bumo for Grealish. I considered taking a hit and doing that for Eze and then bringing in Gabriel or Timber. I decided against that, and I decided against not taking a hit this week. So I am going to start. I think I'm going to start Mukalele home to Everton, along with Isidore.
Another goal this week. Not scoring quite like Thiago is,
for sure.
But a nice budget, one of the best low-priced forwards.
They're home to Everton. I'm going to give those 2 guys a roll.
Yep.
Gehi, Calafiori, Saka, Semenyo, Eze, Bumo, Holland, Voltamade. My goalkeeper selection is complete garbage.
I know
week.
Everybody's got that. I think
it's either Vicario or Sells, and I'm not doing Sells. So Vicario, I'm going to roll out home to Chelsea, but I am benching Van der Ven. I do not expect
double up
Vicario to keep a clean sheet. So there we go. That's my lineup. Travis, what's your night moves?
I don't think I'm going to make any moves. I was going to go Gyökeres to Mateta and then Gordon to Abumo. But Gyökeres has got Burnley and Gordon's got West Ham, so I think I'm going to ride on those this week and maybe make that next week.
Last time Gyökeres played like a promoted club, he had a brace against Leeds.
Yeah, so I'm not going to make any moves this week, but I'm
wide
looking
open,
at those.
Running right at you, Leeds.
That's right. So the other thing is,
results be damned. We're going after this
I have
lousy
to.
Gunner team.
Scott Parker's going to do the same.
Oh yeah.
I have to. I have to do something that Brian tells me to do this week.
Yes, you do.
Just like every week.
All right.
You didn't do it last week.
I did. I did something he told me to do.
I thought you said you didn't do it.
Gosh, don't listen to me. I sold Mickey Van de Ven.
I'm gonna captain Urian Timber.
Yeah,
that's actually
fun.
That's
Because
way
you
more
said
fun
to.
than captaining Gabriel. I'll tell you that.
So I'm captaining Urian Timber right now. So that's it.
My moves were made almost instantly, and the reason why was because I was about to lose. I was about to lose the 10th that I had earned on Reinders. I was about to lose even
Oh,
more
boy.
money on Joao Pedro.
Yeah.
So before their prices dropped on like Sunday
Night
or
moves.
whatever it
Night
was,
moves happened.
it was like Saturday night moves is what it felt like.
I needed to move Pedro tonight before the prices moved to go from Pedro to
You
Mateta,
didn't do it.
and I missed it.
He would have Pedro would have dropped twice then because that was the thing. I had already
He dropped again tonight.
Yeah, I was going to lose the
Oh,
10th
boy.
a few days ago on him. He was already down in price.
Oh, boy.
So before I missed those, or before I lost more money, it was Reinders out, Joao Pedro out, Mateta in, and finally I did what I've been saying I wanted to do, Yankuba Minta. I had the exact money
I like
to
that.
go to Minta.
I like him.
You starting Minta this week?
I am starting Minta this week. I think I might bench Semenyo. I'm thinking about benching.
Interesting.
I'm thinking about benching
I feel like this is
Semenyo.
when he shows up in games. He loves the challenges.
That could be. I can't play a 2-5-3. So if I could do that, I would. But since I can't, I think
Why can't you?
I can't go to like.
Oh, you mean
I
two
can't
Two
go to the
defenders.
back, right?
Yeah, I got you.
I wish there was the all-out attack chip. Do you remember that from years and years
Yeah.
ago? I like that better.
Yeah.
When you could play a 2-5-3.
No, no. The one move that I made last week actually ended up being worth it. You know, Danny Welbeck has been extremely good. Like that's what when we were running through those numbers, Welbeck's been he's the second highest scoring forward in the last 4 game weeks. So, no, it'd be Welbeck, like piling up on Brighton. So Welbeck and Minta starting with Bumo, Bruno, Anthony Gordon,
And then
Mateta,
starting Joe Roden
Mateta, Holland. Yeah,
against
no.
them.
I can only hope that he scores again. Actually, weird stat with him. He's won 8 shots for Rodon in the last 4 games, most of any defender. One more than Calafiori. Calafiore's second with 7 shots. Rodon's kicking toward the net.
Rodon in his last 4 games giving you 2 results, averaging 10 points in those results.
It'll be Calafiori and Gahey and someone, and I'm not sure who.
Okay.
Captain.
And Captain actually was on Bumo.
Okay.
I wouldn't hate Captain Danny Welbeck.
Really?
I might go absolute hog wild here and go just pick somebody that's not an
Wow.
Arsenal defender and is not Holland.
Wow.
And just
Okay.
go Mateta is a captain option.
Brighton's an early game, home to Leeds.
If they try to play that game, if it goes wide open, is going to turn into a basketball game.
Now that's
a,
true.
That's a 6-4. That's a 6-4.
You're right, Brian. Welbeck might be a great call. Indoor Minta. You're starting all the Albions.
Yeah, I like their schedule. I think the schedule is good. FPL Olympian, for whatever it's worth, a Brighton fan, suggested that they play up to top competition and tend to play down to the bad competition. So a Brighton fan, a word of caution from a Brighton fan. I think that they are, I don't know. I'm not as worried about it.
Okay.
But either way.
Because of the time change. Well, yes.
There's no early game. There's no early game.
No, the games this 1 week before in the US of A.
Mm-hmm.
Time change hasn't happened yet, but it has in the UK. Therefore, these games this week on Saturday start at 11 a.m., not 10 Eastern.
Yep.
Interesting.
And
well, that'll
then,
be fun.
And then there's a late game. The late game's at... No, wait a minute. No. Oh, no, yeah. So then the late game starts at 1:30, and the late game
So like 4 or something.
starts at 3 or 4. Starts at 4.
Yeah, that's super late.
Wow.
It'll be dark here by the time Liverpool and Aston Villa are done.
That's crazy.
I'll
What
be
a-
plenty of beers in
What
to
a
deal with that
day.
by then.
Who needs the National Football League? All right.
I'll need
No
one
one.
of your logins to be able to watch that game.
All right.
Yeah.
We can make that happen.
Come on down.
Well, gentlemen, well done. We are
This is so long.
I know. It's longer than you wanted, Travis.
So long.
Travis was
I've been
giving
trying
us-
to wrap this up
he's
for a
been
while. I
trying to
just
wrap
stopped
it up
talking.
for 10 minutes. For the FPL America podcast, this is David Smith. Until next time.